Ark Invest just bought 1.4 million shares of this penny stock. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor. I got the clothing line to prove the fact. You know what it is, baby. And today we're speaking about NNDM. A lot of you guys probably know who they are at this stage. There's been a lot of excitement around these guys on YouTube, largely due to the fact that Ark Invest has been buying. The company is Nano Dimensions. They're a 3D printing company based out of Israel. Now, yesterday they took a significant dip in the market. You can see here they fell over 20% on the day because of this one piece of news. Essentially, they went ahead and sold $50 million worth of shares at $3 a share, diluting the market, which people never like to see. But before this happened, if I bring you back to the monthly chart, they were up over 150% before this pullback, and they were up more than 210% on the monthly chart. So it's been a pretty crazy journey all in all for these guys over the last month. Where it gets even crazier is if you go all the way back to the max stock chart. There was a stage where these guys were worth about $113 a share, my friends. And considering there was a stage where they were trading at about 75 cents a share, woo, that is pretty insane. They lost more than 99% of their value. There's a few reasons this happened. We'll briefly touch off it in today's video, but what I really want to speak about is what Ark Invest is doing and what I personally am thinking about doing. The last time I spoke about these guys, I said I wasn't getting involved, but the more research I've done, the more exciting they've begun to look. Now, I will make it clear, I am not invested as of recording this video. So right before we get into the video, my friends, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? If you're new around here, please do me a massive favor and consider hitting that juicy red subscribe button and joining the family of investors. We're getting super close to 50,000. And drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the video once you've watched it till the end. And also let me know what you think of this company, especially if you are involved. With that being said, my friends, boom, into the video. So in today's video, I'm not necessarily looking to go through the absolute basics surrounding this company. I have recorded one video on them before if you want to check that out and then come back to this one. What I really want to speak about is the price action, okay? This article right here, why Nano Dimension stock fell sharply on Monday, and also Ark Invest buying 1.4 million shares, more than quadrupling their previous position in this company just yesterday, people. There's also some more things I want to get into, like this: Dr. Joseph Kaplan, which we'll get into, Christopher Moran joining Nano Dimension's board of directors, the fact that the CEO has been investing into the company himself as of late, and a little bit more about the president and CEO. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves yet. So as I said, the monthly chart, insane. You can actually see that Ark Invest have been buying these guys for a considerable period of time. We can see that as of the 12th of August, they actually had 140,000 shares in the company. Now, since then, they've more than 10 times that. And as I covered in my last video on these guys, Ark Invest actually invested in these guys years and years ago. I believe it was 4 or 5 years ago, before selling out the large majority of their position. With that being said, monthly chart, we were up as much as 210% from the 28th of September to the 16th of October. We then proceeded so far to crash 35+%. Today we opened up about 4%. Now we're approaching break even again. It could well go red. Now, why did this happen? Why did they fall sharply on Monday? Again, if I just bring you back to literally what happened, boom, they fell 21% in a day. So why did that happen? It's quite simple. The company is raising capital through a direct offering of its shares, which will dilute shareholders' ownership. And we know that in general, investors don't like to see dilution. Now, when it comes to growth stocks, I've spoken about this many times on the channel. It oftentimes is necessary to dilute the share pool so that the company can grow quicker. And isn't that exactly what we want from growth stocks? Yes, in the short term, technically we will own a little bit less of the company, but it could mean ultimately our smaller share is worth more in the years to come. So I don't necessarily think that objectively share dilution is a bad thing for a long-term growth stock investor. Now, of course, if you're a swing trader, if you were just in this for the 50% ride or whatever it is, this is probably going to be a good sign to sell. It makes sense. Anybody could tell you that more than likely when share dilution happens, for a day or two at least, the stock price is going to briefly go down. So that's what, your average swing trader or your average retail investor might be thinking. Let's sell, let's get out. And then there's the big institutions. Then there's Ark Invest, and they say, you know what? Let's buy 1.4 million shares. Pretty crazy. So we can see the press release came out yesterday. Nano Dimension prices $50 million registered direct offering. So essentially, they've entered into definitive agreements with investors for the sale of 16.72 million of the company's American depository shares. That's just your standard ordinary share. at a price of $3 per ADS pursuant to a registered direct offering. So when you see that, you know, they're selling shares at $3, you can probably make a guess they're going to go lower. They're going to go towards $3. That's exactly what's happened. They were up close to 4. We have come down very, very close to 3 on the button. And we actually saw this happen a couple of times in the past with the company when they did this share dilution. Very similar things happened. And then shortly after, boom, they went on another run to the upside. So I will definitely be watching $3 as a very interesting price point, and we are not at all far away from that right now. But this offering will lead to approximately $50 million before deducting placement agent fees and other estimated offer experiences for the company. The company intends to use the net proceeds for working capital and for other general corporate purposes. That's just a pretty standard explanation. That's what you expect. Essentially, it's just all going straight back into the business. That's all you need to know about that right there. The closing of the registered direct offering is expected to take place on or about October 28th. Now, obviously, today is 27th. The 28th is tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, we could potentially see some red. It's hard to know. When you see Ark Invest buying that much, that's going to bring a lot of retail investors into the company. But with the dilution happening tomorrow, yeah, we most certainly could see a little bit of red in the short term before what I believe could be a pop to the upside. Now is probably a good time to explain though. You know, I'm not a swing trader. I'm not a very good short-term investor. That's not what I do. I'm a long-term investor, so I might not get it right. At the same time, even if you were a swing trader, a short-term investor, you might not get it right either. That's just what I expect could happen over the next day or two. But this company doesn't make sense. I mean, look at that monthly stock chart. When you see any company go up 200% in less than 3 weeks, that doesn't really make sense. But it makes sense for them to be doing it right now. I mean, again, if I just bring you back on the 6-month chart, not too long ago, we were $1.41 a share. Less than 6 months ago, we were literally 75 cents a share, guys. So it makes sense to do this now. It follows a run up in the company's stock price over the past 3 months, making this a much better time to raise capital than when the stock was below $1 earlier this year. It makes sense that it was, and we've seen this many times in the past. When a company goes on a really nice run up, that's when they decide to dilute the share pool because they will get more money out of it. So as I said, $3 is the price that I currently am watching. Now again, that does not mean I will buy if we hit $3 or if we hit $3.03 or $2.96. That is just what I'm watching and to an extent expecting to be hit. Now that still does represent a decent drop, nearly 10%. But for this company, a 10% move means very little. Now just keep in mind, guys, the 8th of October 2015, this was a $113.60 per share company. What happened? There's one thing that happened, okay? Their co-chairman took a leave of absence amid police investigation. Essentially, they were being researched for fraud and things of the likes, and I do believe he actually ended up getting arrested for money laundering and aggravated fraud and security offences. So obviously, that is going to absolutely ruin a company, especially when they're so new. Not many people are going to invest in a company that's accused of doing things like that. Now, a lot of time has passed. Management has pretty much completely shifted. And now this man right here, Yoav Stern. Mr. Stern is a seasoned executive with a proven track record spanning decades in operating roles as CEO and chairman, as well as an active hand-on investor in high-tech companies, specializing in machine vision, fiber optics, defense tech, communication solutions, aerospace, which is very important, and homeland security. He has built several successful companies from humble beginnings of $8 million in annual revenues to $330 million in annual revenues. Now further, these guys don't expect things to get much better next year. It really is the next 2, 3, 4 plus years we can expect some real sales, some real numbers to be turned over. So keep that in the back of your head right now. This more than likely is going to be very volatile for a considerable period of time. I guarantee there's going to be a lot of manipulation and a whole lot of short-term investors and swing traders in here. So just be wary of that if you do plan on going along with this company. You know, you're going to need to be willing to hold through the volatility, especially given the market times we already live in. When you add all of it together, it's probably going to be pretty crazy. But I do think this guy right here could be the man that the company needs. And he's putting his money where his mouth is. August 5th, okay, he invested in the company. He purchased from the company a Series A warrant to buy up to 6.88 million of the company's ADSs for an aggregate exercise price of $5.16 million. The cost of the warrants $150,000. He's also forfeiting options to purchase 29.05 million ordinary shares pre-reverse split of the company, previously granted him under the Nano Dimension Limited Employee Stock Option Plan 2015. But you have to like to see that, my friends. Now, next up, from September 21st, not too long ago at all, Dr. Joseph Kaplan, seasoned technology leader, to become Nano Dimension's CTO, Materials and Vice President of R&D and Product Development. Now, this company is essentially in a transitional phase. It's going from an R&D company to commercial sales. Sales will most likely increase in the following years. That's what I said earlier on in the video. I don't think next year even is going to be a big year for them, but potentially down the line. As of October 22nd, when this was published, the company sells at 8.5 times to 13.25 times 2021 sales. So it's not cheap. I know it's only a couple of dollars, but it's not cheap. But that is again why I think it's a medium to long term investment. Yes, you're paying a premium now, but it could be worth it in a few years time, or else it is a swing trade. It depends what kind of investor you are. But look at this, guys. Until September 2020, Dr. Kaplan was the CTO and co-founder of Phononics Technologies Limited, a partnership between the ELTA and Israel Aerospace Industries and ICDAT, Israeli Center of Advanced Diamond Technology. So we see the word aerospace being thrown around again. Another one, February 25th, 2020. J. Christopher Moran, Executive Director and General Manager, Lockheed Martin Ventures, joins Nano Dimension's board of directors. Boom! More aerospace. So he is a vice president of Lockheed Martin Corp, and executive director and general manager of Lockheed Martin Ventures, the venture capital investment arm of Lockheed Martin. He is responsible for leading the corporation's investments in small tech companies which support strategic business objectives. Now, prior to joining Lockheed Martin, Mr. Moran served in a variety of increasingly responsible positions at Applied Materials Inc. He was the head of business systems and analytics group in the Applied Global Services organization. Some very exciting people have joined the team over the last couple of months and over the last 6 months. And considering that what this company's downfall was in the past was, these fraudulent, terrible CEOs, whatever they were, this is exciting, and it could be bringing the company, on a better path. So at the end of the day, we're looking at an additive manufacturing electronics industry leader who's just taken on some really interesting people onto the team, okay? They're patent protected and they have proven technology. They potentially have first to market advantage. I'm not 100% confident in this, but they'll be one of the first to markets at the very least, okay? There does seem to me to be competition out there, but still. The only technology that converts digitally electronic circuits and functional device. Approximately 60 systems sold worldwide. So again, we can see there's not the most sales in the whole world yet. A point I've brought up a couple of times so far. They're increasing recurring revenue of proprietary conductive and dielectric materials, 3D printing inks, and they're in a strong cash position which they essentially will double tomorrow. So I want to let you guys know where I stand on this company right now, because I have kind of hinted at the fact I'm contemplating buying. $3 is a price point that I am really looking at. If I am to invest, I more than likely am going to have a stop loss set, which for me is weird. I haven't done that for a single one of my other investments, but I do just think that the volatility that these guys could carry for a considerable period of time will be very high. I will also be investing with the understanding that I may end up essentially swing trading this. I may end up running away with my profits. It may not be a long-term investment, but best case scenario, it will be a long-term investment. What will take for me to hold these guys long is I'm going to need some really positive news over the next few months. I'm going to see some good quarters. I mean, the next 2 quarters would have to be quite promising. And I'm also going to have to see a general shift in market direction. I'm going to have to see the market turning somewhat bullish again, and I'm going to have to see this company, stringing together a considerable amount of green. Because as of right now, as I've said already, it's very volatile. I do think there's a lot of swing traders in here, a lot of short-term investors in here. I think it has the potential to go up 100% in a matter of days and crash back down 50% the next day. I mean, look at that 1 month chart. There's an 81% move in 2 days. We lost 22% in 4 days. We proceeded to go up 122% in a couple of weeks. We sold off 23% in 2 days. Again, there was a 20% dip in 1 day. It speaks for itself. So that is my thought process right now. It's really weird. I could end up losing some money, it could end up being a swing trade, or it could end up being a long-term investment. But we're speaking about a company that has a market cap of 171 million, okay? It's $3.20 a share. It's essentially a penny stock. You do, to an extent, have to treat it differently than you would most long-terms. I mean, this isn't an Apple or a Facebook. It's not even a Workhorse or a Lordstown Motors. But I do see it as having immense potential. I just think you're going to need some really strong hands to be willing to hold this for a very long time. And I also want to make sure that I don't become too emotionally attached to them, and I don't become ignorant, and I don't hold for the sake of holding. But guys, that is my update on Nano Dimension. I do genuinely think it's looking quite exciting. If you do want to know if I end up buying this company, hit that first link in the description, my friends. Sign up to my Patreon. You'll get full access to my private Discord group where you will get every single one of my buy and sell alerts. You'll know exactly what I'm doing with these guys and every other company out there. But that's my little update, my friends. Boom! I do hope that you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully you took some value and entertainment out of it. And ultimately, if you watched until the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here. You just watching the videos has helped me out so much, so thank you. If you did enjoy, took some value, some entertainment, please consider hitting that like button, drop me a comment, let me know what you think about the company or the video, and subscribe if you're new around here, because again, all of that is free. You'll get it done in like 7 seconds, and it helps me out so much. Very exciting company, but please do tread lightly. This is one company I will have an exit plan for if things are to go wrong, which for me, if you've watched the channel before, you know I don't generally have stop losses, etc. I'm a bit of a bag holder, but yeah, I will definitely have something set up with this company just to make sure that I don't lose my entire investment, because it is volatile, guys. It was a 75-cent stock only, what, 5.5 months ago? But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. I will see you for another video very soon. Peace.